So my dude's Valkyr, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the 2.1 story. Now, I'm going to do my best to not say any spoilers and allude to certain things, but I'm going to be talking about the story as a whole, so you might be able to draw conclusions based off what I'm saying, but I'm going to try to make this as spoiler-free as I can for you. So, let's go ahead and let me think about the entire 2.1 story as a whole, and I'll give you my thoughts on it, because I know a lot of people are curious because of the toss-up. There is one thing I'm going to spoil for you at the very beginning here, so if you guys don't know this is going to be kind of surprising, or not, I don't think it's surprising. But if you know, Mihoyo said that Act 3 is the end of the Inazuma arc, and obviously, you know, ends on a somewhat happy ending, as all good stories do, and the Vision Decree gets repealed. So, I feel like that's fairly obvious. I don't feel like that's too much of a spoiler. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So, with the story, it picks up where 2.0 left off, and we go ahead and we meet our boy. We meet everything, and we see things kind of happen very quickly. This part of the story goes really, really fast, to be honest. And when that happens, we see the effects of a certain object on people, and what it does to them based off that. And we see somebody try their hardest, and because they tried their hardest, it backfired, essentially. And it's really sad. It's honestly one of the saddest moments in the game so far, because it made me actually care about an NPC, which is something really hard to do in any video game, period. Like a non-main character NPC, and it was probably the saddest moment in Genshin that we've had so far, and it really was Smoge, a very Smoge moment. But then the part that comes after that, whenever we go to the one place with Angry Short Man, whenever we go to that part, I thought that was okay, but everything from here on feels really, really fast. Everything feels like it just started going. But then we meet a fox. The fox tells us some things, tells us a plan, gives us some really good information, juicy lore based off the nation of Inazumis, and then we go back. We go back to where it all basically began, and we go back to actually talk to the person who the fox mentioned, after having some playtime with the fox. But then stuff goes down. The big moment happens that I'm sure 90% of you guys know about. The big moment happens, and then after that, the coolest stuff that's happened in the game so far happens, and I love all of this so far. Of course, like I said, the pacing is so weird in this because it starts off going really quickly. Like, I think months flew by in the very first part of things. I can't tell, but the way it progressed, it feels like months went by. And we were actually doing stuff for months with the Resistance. Because that's where the 2.0 story left off, like I said. So the pacing feels weird because then it slows down. But then once we get to this part, like I was saying, we go and we have one of the coolest cutscenes that shows a lot of stuff happening, shows a lot of surprises, and then we go into one of my favorite boss fights ever. And after that is where all of the 2.1 story falls apart for me. So after that, everything kind of just does, you know, the usual fade to black, tells you some text, and then it cuts to everything all hunky-dory and the quests and the Vision Decree repealed. So it's like, why though? Like, I wish they expanded on the process of after more. Whenever it came to the actual after of the story, it seems really rushed. Everything about the story feels kind of rushed with it. That's just my personal opinion, but I think the cutscenes were amazing, the fights were amazing, everything was amazing, especially at the one part where everyone knows what I'm going to talk about. Everything was amazing for it. Now, keep in mind whenever you're watching this video, if you don't want spoilers, it's going to be in the comment section. I promise you there's going to be spoilers. I'm not going to be moderating as always because it's been almost a week now. You've had enough time to do the story, but I don't want to talk about the spoilers myself just in case. But I feel like the story was really, really rushed. I feel like they could have done a little bit more fleshed out. I feel like, honestly, Inazuma as a whole needed a fourth act. And I feel like the motorcycles going by outside are very, very loud. But I feel like Inazuma as a whole needed a fourth act. And I really hope that they expand on everything that happened after the big moment, after the big showdown. But yeah, anyways, that's basically my thoughts. TLDW. Really, really good, but also feels really rushed. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on a 2.1 story. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.